On April 1st, the Committee to Protect the Rights of Islamists held a press conference on the persecution of believers at the press center of the Institute for Reporters' Freedom and Safety. It was noted that the recent 3-4 years saw massive arrest of believers in the country, but regretfully the reaction of local and international community was not strong enough. It was also stressed that other socio-political forces and media do not defend the believers well either. In an appeal addressed to the PAC, the committee noted that international organizations do not provide effective support to the defense of believers. The speaker said that attacks on believers started in 1990s, along with the problems with registration of socio-political organizations, the names of which included the word Islam, and added that these problems still remain. Religious policy of the government was severely criticized. The ban on azan, demolition of mosques, and prohibition of hijab have given rise to protests. The philosophy of government's ill treatment of believers, long-term imprisonment of people for any protest, is inconceivable. This contradicts to the attempts of government to show Azerbaijan the center of religious tolerance of the world. What kind of a tolerant country it is if believers here are subjected to torture, arrested just for demanding their religious rights, said Nati Grovshanli, stating that religious tolerance policy of Baku is not sincere. He noted that prisoners are exposed to pressure for their beliefs in the prisons. Some believers are beaten for praying, calling to the prayer, and put into punishment cells. It was also noted that a number of imprisoned believers died in the prisons. Some speakers believe that the reason of insufficient support from international organizations to the defense of believers is due to the biased information spread by the Azerbaijan's delegation to the PAC about religious community. The delegation describes the Islam believers as radical and aggressive people with whom it is impossible to hold dialogue. The committee considers it important to change this stereotype. Then the appeal addressed to the PAC for the protection of believers' rights was read. It stated that in the recent 3 years, imprisonment of believers, arrest of people during peaceful action to protect their freedom of religious beliefs were groundless, and people arrested in the struggle for their faith are not supported efficiently by the international organizations. The committee urged the PAC to influence the government to eliminate religious bans and not be negligent to their repressions. The appeal contained the list of imprisoned believers.